All right, so here we go. The triangle sum property. The sum of all three angles, because a triangle by definition has three angles and only three angles. Sum of all three angles, no matter what it looks like, no matter what size the angles are, if they're all in one triangle, if I add them up, I get 180 degrees. So what we're going to do today is apply this idea to algebra. So we're going to draw three examples. We're going to start off easy and get more difficult. So triangle number 1. And in this triangle, this angle right here measures 76 degrees. And in this problem, this angle right here measures, Tommy, please stop, 55 degrees. And this angle down here is missing. It's y degrees. But I know, because up here, the triangle sum property told me that the sum, what does sum mean? Add, the answer to an addition problem, of all three angles in a triangle equals 180 degrees. So I know that if I took the measure of angle M, whatever that was, the number, plus the measure of angle N, whatever that was, and I added the measure of angle O, no matter what three numbers they are, since they make a triangle, I'm always going to get 180 degrees. So if I look down here, I'm going to add up all three angles. I'm going to add 76 degrees plus 55 degrees plus y degrees, and I'm going to get an answer of 180 degrees. Every single time, I can take all three, the first angle plus the second angle plus the third angle, and I'm going to get an answer of 180 degrees. But this now has a variable in it. So we're going to use our rules of solving algebraic equations. So the first thing we do is simplify. We have to make our problem easier. After I simplify, then I can solve for the variable. Dakota, write this down, please. So if I look at this problem, I've got a variable, so I'm going to draw a line. If I'm going to simplify, is there anything on the left side that can be simplified that are like terms that can go together? Yes. Dakota, what?
76 and
Right, 76 and 55 are like terms. They don't have variables. They're both constants. They're both just numbers. So 76 plus 55 is
131.
131. I'm going to put a degrees with it because I want to make sure it'll catch up.
Really?
And then I continue the problem because I know I can't put y degrees with it. It's 131 plus y degrees equals 180 degrees. And this is where we started, right? This is the beginning of the year. This is a one-step equation. How do I figure out what y is? I do the inverse. So Audrey, what's my inverse operation going to be? Yeah, I'm going to subtract 131. Now you think, I don't really need to do all of this. I can just tell you. I can figure it out by looking at it. I know this stuff, which is great. However, this is the easy type of example, right? So we want to work our way into it. Those cancel out because they're inverses, and we have y degrees, or y is what? 49. Please do not forget degrees. You will get it wrong. The y value is degrees. All right, so this guy, pretty easy, right? Let's try another example. Draw another triangle. I'm going to try to make them all look a little different. So here's this triangle. And I know down here this is 60 degrees. And I know this one is 60 degrees. If two angles are the same, that means two sides are the same. What kind of triangle is this?
That's the
Isosceles. And this one is 15x degrees. But nothing has changed. I still know, no matter what, all three angles add up to what?
100.
So let's do that. 60 degrees plus 60 degrees plus 15x degrees equals what?
180.
180. No matter what, I add all three up and I'm going to get an answer of 180 degrees. Setting it up. My first rule is to simplify. Is there anything that I can combine to make my problem easier? Anshuman, which ones? 60 plus 60. They're both on the same side. They're both constants. They don't have variables, so I can put them together. 60 degrees plus 60 degrees is
120.
120 degrees. I can't add that 15x, so I just bring it on down. Equals 180 degrees. Simplify. Is there anything else I can do? No. So now I have to solve. What do I do to solve? I'm going to get rid of my constant first, my number without the variable, minus 120. Those are opposites, they're inverses, so I'm left with 15x equals 60 degrees. So I know this angle right here is 60 degrees. But I'm still not done with my problem, am I? What do I have to do now? Divide by 15 because I want to know what x equals. 60 degrees divided by 15 is 4 degrees. My x value is 4 degrees, but that doesn't mean this angle is 4 degrees. The angle is 15 times 4, which is 60. But my x value is 4. It is an equilateral triangle. One last problem. Let's do a triangle that looks like this. Oops. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of squeezing in here. 124 degrees. I'm gonna draw arrows just because I don't want to squeeze it in there. 28 degrees. And this angle is 2x plus 10 degrees. But I'm going to set this problem up the exact same way I did every other problem. I know that if they give me all three angles, which they did, they're just not all numbers, right? I have variables, but that's okay. If they give me all three angles, I know if I add them all up, so 2x plus 10, that's angle 1, plus angle 2 is 124 degrees, plus angle 28 degrees. If I add all three of them up, what do I get? 180 degrees. So let's simplify before we do anything. What can go together? Okay, I'm going to highlight what you told me. 124, I heard 128, not 100. Why 10 too, Dakota? It doesn't have what? It doesn't have a variable. It's just a constant. What if there was a number outside of here, like the number, don't write this on your paper, but what if there was a number 3? Tommy, what would you do? The first thing you'd do is distribute. There's not, so we don't have to worry about it. But if there was, you'd have to distribute first. Then you could start combining like terms. So what's 10 plus 124 plus 28?
162.
Thank you for raising your hand, Camilla. Plus 162 degrees equals 180 degrees. Now what? Minus 162. I'm going to run out of room. I have to squeeze. 2x doesn't change. My 162's disappear. Equals 18 what? Divide by 2. Divide by 2. X equals 9 degrees. So that's one of my answers. One answer is x equals 9 degrees. But I still don't know what this third angle is, do I?
28.
Tommy, tell me how to do it.
2 times 9
I substitute my value of 9 into my problem. 2 times 9 is 18. Plus 10 is 28 degrees. So the triangle sum property, you're going to take all three angles, no matter what it looks like. And if you add all three angles, you find the sum of all three angles, you're always going to get 180 degrees. Solve for the variable.